Hey there, fellow collectors, and welcome back to the Rookie Ripper channel, the go-to spot for all things sports cards. Are you tired of feeling like this lady here when you're trying to run comps for your cards? Well, today I've got something special for you. My top 3 favorite apps for running comps with my cards. So if you're ready to dive in, hit the like button, subscribe, and let's get after it. Alright, first on our list we have Sports Cards Pro. This is always my first stop when I'm researching a card because it lets you snap a picture and it searches its database with that picture. So I have a screen record of me doing just that. Let's take a look. So what you want to do is either snap a quick picture or load a picture from your gallery. And it'll load, it'll do its thing, it'll search its database, and then once it finds the card, it'll find all the cards in its database, show you different variants. If you don't see the variant that's exactly like you have, just look at all the variants. So we have the base pulled up. Open that, add it to your collection. As you see, I already had it added to my collection. So then, once you click into your collection, you can see all the cards that you've added over time. Let's explore their collection capabilities a little more. So let's go into my collection. Let's search for the card that we just added. And just like anything, it's going to be a little glitchy, so just kind of play around with it. You can type George, you can search Pickens, either way. So now we can go back in, look at some of the factors that come into play when it comes to valuing the card. Right, so here we are back at the card. What we're seeing now is all the eBay sales data for ungraded cards. This app only pulls its information from eBay, unlike some of the other ones I'll show you. But it does let you filter by BGS, PSA, and the different grade levels. Let's pull that up. Right, so you have all your filters. So if there's sales graded on eBay, listed in the description or in the title, it will show you. So this is a great little tool. I think it's a kind of an all-in-one. Let's take a look at one of the other features I really like. Along with collection tracking, there is grading recommendations, right? So if you have some cards that they're seeing a trend that it might be more valuable to grade them than to try to sell them or hold them ungraded, they do send you either a weekly or a monthly email with grading recommendations, and you can go in to the app and see those recommendations. So another feature I really like about this app is you can browse different products based on sport, year, maker, and then like the subline. So let's take a look at 2023 Mosaic. So this comes in handy when you're trying to buy some wax, or say you're on Whatnot and there's some random boxes up there. You're interested in jumping into it, but you're not sure what all's in that box, right? So you get a team, you're like, okay, well, what can I possibly get out of this, Or say you're looking at buying some singles and you're seeing a lot of Mosaic. So it gives you an idea of what this stuff is valued at, what some of the big hits are. And so all of this stuff is included in the free account. Photo searches, market data, real-time sales trends and insights, collection tracking to include the grading recommendation emails, all with the free subscription level. And so last but not least, I forgot to mention, this app has a whole nother side called price charting that is just for non-sports trading cards. We're talking Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, Marvel, Garbage Pail Kids. And I know once I got back into the hobby, it was exciting to see that there was so much more to it than what I knew from back in the day. It was just basketball for me, some wrestling like WWE, WCW. But people are out here having a good time, making a little money, and this app for me is the number one way to get in the game. Let's move on to number 2. Alright, Next up, we have eBay. And while it may seem obvious, I want to talk to you about some of the features I've come to look at differently since I've started collecting cards again. Let's take a look. Just like with our last app, you want to start by pulling up a picture or snapping a quick picture of whatever it is you're trying to search. We'll stick with that 2022 George Pickens that we were searching on Sports Cards Pro. And as you see, using a picture, it pulled up all the cards that that are for sale on the marketplace. But what I really want to highlight is one of the search filters where you can filter by items sold. And by selecting that filter, you're able to see the sales history of that exact card on eBay. Really, that's it for me. Sports Cards Pro does pull their data from this exact same place, but like I said, trust but verify. And that's what we're doing here. And then oftentimes I'll take the information I get from here, highlight the exact card name, and use it to input into my next app. The third and final app I like to use for running comps on my cards. Let's see. Last but not least on my list is 130 Point. While it may not have a photo search feature, it compensates with in-depth statistics, historical price trends, and a robust database. Let's take a look. Here we are at the search screen on 130 Point, but let's go back home and start from the beginning. So here they have tons of news on their main page, which I've learned so much from over time just exploring the app. So you'll see that 130 Point has access to eBay's marketplace, but it recently added a more robust search feature that includes different auction houses, My Slab, and a couple different marketplaces where people buy and sell cards. So what I'm doing now, I'm just showing you some of the filters that you can apply, things that are still for sale, sort by highest price. You can look at certain marketplaces. And so since this card is just a base card, there's not much here. It's all just eBay, but I think this is a good third way to verify that you're getting accurate information. Because sometimes you'll look at eBay and for some reason some of the listings disappear after it's been sold. So here you can still see it. Another thing that they show you here is the actual sold for price. Oftentimes on eBay you'll see a price, but it'll be a line through the final price, so you don't know what it actually sold for. What this app does is it tells you what it actually sold for. So now here are all the checklists for checklist collectors. It seems that accurate checklists, interactive checklists, are incredibly hard to come by. And so to have this in an app along with other search functions seems invaluable to me, to any checklist collector or investor. So let's take a look at something else that I think sets this app apart. It gives you access to WhackStat. And so I've used this when deciding what boxes to buy. How do I know it's a good price? There's so many different avenues to buy sealed boxes of cards. This has been incredibly helpful. As you see, it's like a stock market ticker, but for sealed wax. It's the coolest thing that I've seen for free since I've started collecting. As you see, there's all types of filters. They break down the data, 30, 60, 90-day historical trends. They also have the release dates, upcoming release dates for different wax, what their retail value will be, and then you can track if the value is going up, going down. So if you're a sealed wax investor, this is going to be one of those things you're checking every day, just as if you were involved in the stock market. I could spend hours and hours on here just seeing the different types of wax, the different release dates, the different price trends. There's so much information packed into this one section of the app. Now, we're about to see something that I discovered as I was recording this screen record. I pushed this button and noticed it will scan the barcode on the box of wax and pull up all the metrics on it. So for me, this more than compensates for the fact that it doesn't have a photo search feature for individual cards, especially if you invest in sealed boxes of cards. Another time this can come in handy is when you're bargain shopping. Websites advertise a good price. How do you know a good price unless you just have all the different types and sports and brands of cards memorized, which it seems some people do, but for me, as a rookie, it's hard to keep up with. So I know that I'll be using this going forward. I hope one day to stumble upon some cards on a sale rack. It seems that that happens, but it hasn't happened to me yet. But I know that when that does happen, I'll definitely be pulling this out. Another way I plan to use this going forward is in thrift stores. I see cards all the time, and this is whipping right out of my pocket. There you have it, my top 3 apps I use as a rookie to run comps on my sports cards. Let me know in the comments, what apps do you use for running comps on your cards that make you feel this free? If you enjoyed this video and want to stay updated on all things sports cards, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Until next time, happy ripping.